I was in middle school, but man, I was blasting this, bro. I was a gangster in my mind. Like, this shit was basically, she knew Americans gonna with it because they know that we greedy. She got us. she at least got me.
Believe me when I say I'ma pull up when the stage drops. Believe me when I say she don't look good.
Yo, what it is, TDC? It's your boy Srotonn here, but you could call me Tone, alright? Listen, we finna watch the true meaning behind Paper Planes. Now, I've always heard there was a different meaning, but I was like, I'm gonna just enjoy this. All I wanna do is and take your mind. That's all it's so. Let's get into it.
This video is brought to you by Curiosity Stream. If you sign up for Curiosity Stream,
shout out to Curiosity Stream, man.
MIA released Geist. Back in 2008, MIA released Paper Planes.
I fly like paper, get high like planes. If you catch me at the border, I go visit my name.
A massive hit, peaking at number 4 on the Billboard Hot 100. Giving the artist...
I was in middle school, but man, I was blasting this, bro. You would have thought that I was like a full-on gang. I was a gangster in my mind. Like, this shit was
first
hard
top
as
10
fuck.
single, a Grammy nomination, and an Oscar nod. It went platinum in Canada, the US, and the UK, and was featured in promoting films like Pineapple Express and Slumdog Millionaire. But the track saw MIA accused of glorifying violence, criminality, and even advocating for terrorism. Because behind the down-tempo beats, the breezy melody, and sample-filled choruses, lies some heavier history. Let's take a look at the true meaning behind Paper Planes.
Okay, talk to me.
Matangia Rule Pergazem, better known as MIA, released her debut studio
Is that her full name?
album, A Rular, in 2005.
Oh, shit.
An eclectic and innovative crunchy electro-pop record that melded together influences from across the globe.
I feel like I've heard
The album was inspired by her father, Arul Pergazem, and his revolutionary ideas. He was the activist leader of the Tamil resistance movement in Sri Lanka, a minority group looking for independence after facing continuous discrimination from the Sinhalese-dominated Sri Lankan government.
I might go down here. We'll see. Is it blocking anything? Yeah, we'll try down here for it. We'll see what's up.
MIA took these themes of conflict and revolution and weaved dance tracks out of them.
Oh, shit!
But her words would impact her creative freedoms of conflict and revolution and weaved dance tracks out of them.
Oh, hold on! Oh, shit!
But her words would impact her creative freedoms soon enough. Would MIA plan to head back to the US to work with Timbaland on her follow-up? Her application for a work visa was rejected. She would spend the better part of the year cutting through red tape with the Department of Homeland Security. She was told she matched the profile of a terrorist, as US officials were apparently...
What the fuck? Who says that?
Worried she would provoke some sort of revolution. As a British citizen with no criminal record, MIA speculated that it was due to her dark skin, her exotic real name, but most likely due to her criticism of the Sri Lankan government's discrimination against the Tamils, with whom she shares an ethnic and cultural heritage. But she certainly did not support terrorism, saying that the messages in her music are just the voice of a civilian refugee. In the meantime, MIA decided she would travel the globe and...
I ain't gonna get too much into it because I don't be knowing too much shit about shit.
...and continue to record what would become Kala.
MIA coming back with power.
Her sound has always come from deconstructing music from around the world and reassembling them into her own productions. She spent time in war-torn Liberia, working with drummers in India, with Aborigines in Australia, musicians in Trinidad.
She really had the musicians going crazy though, for real.
Making music in any country that was anti-American. The whole visa situation would end up shaping what her record would become. Music that showcased a third world perspective. The single Paper Planes was born from her frustrated response to the unwelcoming attitudes of native-born Brits and Americans towards immigrants. The US visa debacle was one thing. Native-born Brits and Americans was born from her frustrated response to the unwelcoming attitudes of native-born Brits and Americans towards immigrants. The US visa debacle was one thing, but before becoming an international pop star, MIA was a refugee who had moved to the UK after surviving a civil war in Sri Lanka. She was being shot at in her homeland and then spat on in her new home. It's hard to imagine that these experiences didn't inspire the first verse of Paper Planes.
Real talk, because I mean, my music won't sound too happy either if I'm going through that shit.
Catch me at the border, I got visas in my name. If you come around here, I'll make your money back. I get one down in a second if you wait.
That's nuts. I had no idea this is what she was saying.
When she finally had her
in my eyes, maybe I thought she was talking about debit cards.
visa approved in 2007, MIA settled down in Bed-Stuy to finish the track. The predominantly black Brooklyn neighborhood made her take notice of how some people thought immigrants and refugees don't contribute to culture in any way. From those grievances, the track became a satire of the American perception of immigrants from war-torn countries. Throughout the track, MIA raps about evading border police, forging fake visas, and delivering lethal poison to the system. She worked on the track with DJ producer Diplo, who was still unknown at the time.
I don't think I know who Diplo is.
It's also a track that stands out among the majority of dense electronic tracks on Kala, due to its more down-tempo, trip-hop production. Paper Planes samples The Clash's 1982 single.
I wonder if they made this shit and they was like, yeah, we got one for sure, because that shit bang. Or if they heard somebody was in and they was like, what? It was like, I don't care what you're talking about, but this beat,
straight to hell.
That beat is nasty.
A track that meditates on the poor treatment the band felt was being placed on third world immigrants in Britain, the US, and
the connection
around the world in general.
The immigrants, they wanna sing all night long.
Diplo and MIA couldn't have picked a more suitable sample to support the subject matter on Paper Planes. The chorus is even more extreme, featuring a choir of children singing that all they want to do is shoot you and take your money.
Take your money. I might need to stop singing this song. I ain't gonna lie. This was my shit for the longest. This is very informative.
While a bit of a nod to Wreck and Effect's Rump Shaker,
just shake your rump.
MIA added in gunshots and cash register samples, feeling as though these sounds symbolized preconceived stereotypes of immigrants coming to a country and leeching off of society, killing and taking their money. But gunshots also embody political refugees' experience in war-torn areas. Hearing gunshots is an everyday thing in some cultures.
And this is so...
But MIA...
What's so crazy is I've never even thought about or have people around me that have that mentality. So I didn't like... While I knew, people usually more like rich people had that mentality, I never knew it was that affected. Like people was voicing that a lot, because like, again, you only know as much as your circle. So if people around you are not talking about how they feel about immigrants, or if they feel immigrants, they view immigrants in a certain light, you don't think that nobody thinks that like that. So this is interesting.
Did all of this with sound effects so that people could interpret it in their own way. She felt that America would connect with it because of the country's obsession with monetary gain. And
relax.
In that sense, it both critiques and indulges on American culture. The character rapping on Paper Planes is not necessarily MIA, but a fictional thug representing the sum of all prejudices about foreigners supposedly menacing Western society. How people automatically assume that a minority is a murderer or a drug dealer, when they're really just leading a simple life. It's an immigrant's rebellious daydream of turning into a gangster in order to...
if you ask me, I'm the type of motherfucker I'd be like, they some hard ass motherfucking workers. That's it for me. I don't be thinking all that other shit. That shit is nuts. So that she made this song to basically, she knew America's gonna fuck with it because they know that we greedy. She got us. She at least got me 100%.
To attain the American dream after realizing a minimum wage job just isn't cutting it. But like the music video would suggest, he's most likely to keep working his low-wage position, no matter how afraid of him you might be. MIA said that the song was about people driving cabs all day and living in a shitty apartment and appearing really threatening to society. But not being so. Because by the time you've finished working a 20-hour shift, you're so tired you just want to get home to the family. I don't think immigrants are that threatening to society at all. No. They're just happy they've survived some war somewhere. Kala and the Single Paper Planes are about perspective, not outrage. The song was never meant to support or incite violence, only to satirize negative stereotypes about immigrants. When the US made her wait for an invitation to come and play in their world, MIA retreated further into her own, crafting an album that gives the third world a voice, one that isn't often heard enough in music. She expanded the conversation of political music by throwing herself into the limelight as an activist willing to speak her mind. And it's a natural result of MIA's self-aware style. It's shocking how ahead of its time some of her stuff is.
A decade, like I said, this is super, super dope.
Later, and issues of diversity and representation are just as, if not more prevalent today. And hey, maybe the lyrics just mean exactly what they sound like they mean, and the song is a celebration of gangsterism.
That's what I thought. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I thought it was just some gangster ass shit that nigga said on it. Bro, they made a whole remix to it. Over.
For the first time.
Bro, like, I thought it was just some gangster shit. This is bringing it to a whole new light.
Gangster attitude sells records, and it did break MIA into the mainstream.
Yeah.
But it's postmodern art. It can mean whatever you'd like it to mean. Until someone like Middle 8 makes you think it means something different.
Facts.
Thanks for watching, ladies and gents. Like the video if you liked it. Subscribe if you loved it. Hit that bell so you're notified of when the next episode goes up.
Hey, man, shout out to him. Is there any more? Oh, I think it's it. All right, man. Hey. Good video, because I actually would have never, ever knew that this song meant that. Like, I think maybe I've heard that it was about immigrants, but that was it. Thank you for this video. It was dope. But I think that's all I really got to say. I appreciate everybody for coming through. Till next time, I'm out.